Hey guys, this is Lanky Trader. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Saturday, May 31st. Happy weekend, guys. So, I'm gonna run you guys through all the trades I took this week from our US30 trade to Nasdaq and gold. So, let's begin. So, you guys already know my strategy. You guys know I trade open range breakouts. I trade the 15-minute opening range. So how the strategy works is all you have to do is just wait for the 9:30 candle. That's on New York Open, 9:30 a.m. New York time. Nigerian time is 2:30 p.m. So you wait for, if you're in Nigeria, you wait for 2:30 p.m. So 2:30 p.m. on the 15-minute time frame, you mark out that 2:30 p.m. candle. When you mark it out, you mark out the range, that's high and the low. Then if whichever way the market breaks out first and closes, that's the direction you are going to trade. So you just set a 1 to 2 or 1 to 1.5 risk to reward. If you are starting out using the strategy, I would recommend you set a 1 to 1.5 so that you have like a mechanical system. So 1 to 1.5 you're out, 1 to 1.5 you're out. Then over time, as it becomes muscle memory, you can now start leaving your take profit open to take advantage of those days when market will just trend and give you maybe a 1 to 3, 1 to 4 and all that. But to build the system first, just stick to 1 to 1.5. So let's go to the charts. So this is Monday 26th of May. So this was our 9:30 candle here. Remember, I'm using New York time, 9:30 a.m. candle here. So we mark out our range and you can see we broke below. So I entered the trade, but the trade just stalled. Just kept on stalling to the next day, and I had to prepare for the new setup. So I closed this trade at break even. So that was Monday's trade. So on Tuesday's trade, we had our 9:30 candle here. We marked out our range, our high and low. We had a break on the 5-minute time frame and close. Then we entered for our buy, stops at the low, and our target was a 1 to 2, but we hit a 1 to 1.8, which is perfect. Do you understand? You can't always hit your 1 to 2, you can't always hit your 1 to 1.5. You have to know when to take your profits, and that's what we did here on Tuesday. So that's how Tuesday's trade went. Then on Wednesday, same routine. We mark out our 9:30 a.m. candle. Then we wait for a break either above or below. We had a break below. We went to the 5-minute time frame to look for a close below our 50-minute range, which we had here. And our target was a 1 to 2, and you can see we hit our 1 to 2 target beautifully. That was our Wednesday's trade. So our Thursday's trade was a very fast trade. We had our 9:30 candle here. We marked out the high and low, and we waited for price to break below our 9:30 candle. We had our break. We entered on the 5-minute time frame, and our target was a 1 to 1.5. Stops at the high, and we hit our take profits. So why the stops is this high? Why I made the stops a little bit higher? Kind of me giving the market room to breathe is because of all these weeks. So most times gold on Nasdaq or pairs with very large volume, they can come and retest all these weeks. So just to be on the safer side, so I don't have to get stopped out, then have to re-enter again. I just give you room to breathe. So yeah, so that's our Thursday's trade. So on Friday, we had a loss, same as Monday. So we had 2 losses this week. So this is our 9:30 candle here. We marked out the high and the low. We broke above. Markets was looking promising. There was a lot of volume. Then market just reversed and stopped us out. So that's how our week's trade on US30 went. So I'm going to run you guys through our Nasdaq trade this week. So on Nasdaq, we started on Monday. So this is our Nasdaq trade on Monday. On Monday, we had our 930 candle here. We marked out high and low of our 930 candle. We had our break below and closed on the 5-minute time frame, and we entered, and our target was 1 to 1.5, stops at the high, and you can see that we hit our targets beautifully. Then on Tuesday, we had our 930 candle here. We marked out the high and the low. We broke above our 930 candle, and we took our entry on the 5-minute time frame, stops at the low. We target a 1 to 1.5, and you can see that we hit our targets beautifully here. This was our Tuesday setup. Our Wednesday setup, this was our Wednesday setup here. We had our 930 candle here, marked out the high and the low of our 930 candle. Wait for a break. We had a break below here, entered on the 5-minute time frame, and our target was a 1 to 1.5, stops at the high. You can see that we hit our targets beautifully. So we're on a kind of a winning streak here on US30. So on Thursday, this was our Thursday setup here. We had our 930 candle. This very bearish candle is our 930 candle. We mark out the high and the low of the 930 candle, and we wait for markets to break, and we broke below. Our target was a 1 to 1.5, stops at the high, and you can see that we hit our 1 to 1.5 targets. We hit it beautifully. Then on Friday, this was our Friday setup here. We had our 930 candle, which is this bearish candle here, marked out the high and the low of the 930 candle. We wait for a break. In this case, we had a break below here, and we entered off the 5-minute time frame. Our target was a 1 to 1.5, and you can see we hit our 1 to 1.5. So this week we had 5 wins, back-to-back wins on US30, while we had 2 losses on we had 2 losses on US30, and we had 5 back-to-back wins on Nasdaq. So you can see that the strategy works. It works very well most of the time. It's just for you to just follow the routine. Just follow the routine. Keep it very mechanical, and you see that you will make profits, and you make a living out of just trading a very simple and straightforward strategy. So that's just it. So that's how our trade went on Nasdaq this week. So we are going to gold. So on our gold this week, we had a lot of choppy setups, kind of sketchy setups, but I'm going to run you guys through that now. Let's see how we did on gold. So okay, so this is our gold setup. So we start on Monday 26th May 2025. These are our gold setup here. We had our 930 candle here, this bearish candle. We mark out the high and the low of that candle. Then we enter at the break. We had the break above here, so I entered for the buy. Stops at the low. I chose this week for my stop loss, and our target was a 1 to 1.5, but we are not able to hit the 1 to 1.5. We ended up getting out at 1 to 1.4. So yeah, it's still a very good risk to reward. All you have to know is keep it mechanical and know when to get out of the market. Do not give all your profits back to the market. So that's how our Monday's trade went. So on Tuesday, as I said, on gold this week, we had a lot of choppy trades. So on this is our 930 candle here. We mark out the high and the low of the 930 candle. So you guys know, I told you guys that when gold is bullish on the higher time frame, we don't really take sells on this setup. So at this point, gold was bullish on the higher time frame. My bias was a buy on the higher time frame, so I disregarded this break below, and in anticipation that market will eventually come out and break above, which it did. So stops at the low. Our target was a 1 to 1.5. We came close, but we didn't hit the 1 to 1.5. So we just closed out at I think closed out, took my profits around here. So yeah, closed out at 1 to 1, so that we can prepare for the new setup. So yeah, that's how when our Tuesday's trade went. Then on Wednesday we had a cleaner setup here. So I was already bearish on the 4-hour time frame, so I was looking for sells. So we had our 9:30 candle here. We marked out the high and the low of the 9:30 candle. We had our break here, this candle. So we got our entry on the 5-minute time frame, stops at the high, and our target was a 1 to 1.5. And you can see that we hit a 1 to 2 here, and it kept on going. Maybe this is like a 1 to 4 or 1 to 1 to 4. So that's how our Wednesday's trade went. So on Thursday we had a loss. So this was our 9:30 candle here. We marked out the high and the low. We had a break above, stops at the low, and you can't always win. So we ended up getting stopped out on this trade. Then on Friday, this one, the trade is still running. So we had our 9:30 candle here. We marked out our high and our low. We had a break below. We entered off the 5-minute time frame and stops at the high. Our target was a 1 to 1.5. So this trade, I wasn't even given the opportunity to break even. So instead of closing it out at a loss, since I did my proper risk management, I said, okay, let's leave the trade open, because gold is very, very weird sometimes. And on Monday morning, or is it Sunday, early hours of Monday morning, you just see that market will just spike to our TP. If it spikes to our stop loss, that's also fine. So that's our trade. So on Monday next week, I'll update you guys on how this Friday's trade on gold, how it went. If we get stopped out, I'll update you guys. If we hit our TP, I'll update you guys. So guys, that's how all my trades went this week. If you like this kind of content and you guys want to learn more about my strategy, please subscribe and like. The possibility that you won't see my content again if you don't like or subscribe is very slim. So please like and subscribe, so that anytime I upload a new video, YouTube can recommend my channel to you guys and push my content to you guys so that you guys can watch. Please support me. I'm looking to hit 1K subs. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Lanky Trader. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.